Hi, I'm Allie Hamilton, and I'm so happy to welcome you to the Come As You Are podcast. Every week, we'll be talking about some aspect of healing, usually around childhood wounds and complicated familial relationships. The topics will always coincide with my personal essay of the week, and this will be a place where we can take a deep dive together. I'm so thrilled you've joined me and delighted for you to always come as you are.
We are here with Tina Honor. It's been a minute. And
it has. Hey, Allie.
So excited.
It's good to see you.
I know. Yay.
A crazy summer.
It has been a crazy summer. It has. It
summer.
feels like, I had my son back for like a couple of days before and after a trip. And he's now like, he's in Europe and, my daughter's work. Like, it just feels like the schedule's very crazy and not normal. And I think we're having the same kind of thing. So
we've had one high school graduation and one university graduation, and the big one is like a full-fledged adult now, like living in his own apartment and working, and so
yeah, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
I keep thinking this time next year, my youngest will be going to college, and it'll be like empty nest time, which is so strange. And then they'll both be in college at the same time, so that will be
it's a lot. There's a lot of big feelings, excitement and sadness.
It is
wrapped in with the, with us, we have to travel to and from. So it's been a crazy.
It's very, there is a lot of, I've been through this once already with my older one. So I know that, it's a little bit of a spoiler alert, and I know that it ends up okay in the end. When I dropped him off, I was sobbing when I left, and I drove away, and I now know that like, it really is okay.
It hits different with the second one, I think. I don't know. I'll let you know, because we're doing that in September.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, well,
I'm a year ahead of you on the schedule.
Pick your brain. I'll have to pick your brain when you drop off your second one. But I feel like, I've had the experience once, so I know that like, oh, right, you're texting, you're FaceTiming, they're coming home for all the breaks.
They still need their mama.
Yes, you're going there, so it's fine. I think I had this, like, the unknown of it was so difficult with my first that it felt very much like the end of an era. And it is for sure, but it's also the beginning of like a new era, which is beautiful, and getting to like have a different, kind of chapter with your growing toward.
I'm going to take a gap year. I think I said, I'm just going to kind of take that first year and figure out, what the next direction is, and keep going in this direction, or take a detour, or So it'll be the first time in a long time that, there hasn't been that day-to-day kind of making sure that,
I was trying to explain to my daughter too that it's like, for 20 years, oh, there he is. For 20 years, my kids were like the sun and moon of my universe, right? And the rhythm of my day, and the glue, the whole, and the gravitational force.
Yeah, like the anchor, we say.
Yes.
The kind of anchor to the day.
Very much. And I think that, as they, as they get older and you move into this next phase where you really are envisioning, like, what is it gonna look like when they're both out of the house? There is this sadness to it. Okay, Rufus, you're not part of the podcast. Thank you very much. There is this, like, sort of third act feeling to it of what is that going to be like, as much as there's some grief and some maybe like mourning that this time is coming to a close where everybody was living under the same roof. I might start crying. I totally might. That also there's this kind of adventure part to it also of like, okay, well, what am I that is going to give me a lot of time that I have not at all had for 20 years. And what am I going to?
I think not just time, but like headspace.
Yes.
Like headspace, that kind of freedom of space to be a little bit more selfish and, kind of focus on like, so it's a lot of, it's exciting. It's sad. There's grief, there's happiness. And, I just actually wrote this sentence today. It's like the vaster wilds of motherhood.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
And how our epic stories take place in the confines of that.
Yeah.
Because you know what's on my mind, Allie.
I do know what's on your mind, Dina. I do know exactly what's on your mind because you have gotten to see the Odyssey and I have not. So we are certainly going to be talking about that. Tell me about it.
So I had so my younger son actually saw it last week before we were going to go together. And he said, "Oh, my friends are going." I said, "Go with your friends." I said, "But text me after you're done with the movie and let me know if you want to see it again." So as soon as the movie finished, he texted me and said, "I will definitely see it again." So we went to see it as a family of 3 on Sunday. And I think what I liked about it was that we went out afterwards and we were talking about it. We went to see it as a family and we went out afterwards and it generated a lot of conversation. And it was interesting to hear the male-female perspective. And I tried really hard to go in. It was my first Christopher Nolan movie.
Wow.
I know.
Okay. So you did not do Oppenheimer. You just,
No. And, I just mostly because the topics that he makes movies about don't really interest me. So it's not like I harbor, some Christopher Nolan hate. But this one I got, irrational Christopher Nolan hate. This one I felt like I kind of had to see because I use so much imagery in my own work, from mythology and from the Odyssey. So I went in and I tried to go in with an open mind, and not just pick apart the flat female characters and what could have been different. And I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a good movie from a blockbuster summer Matt Damon starring kind of action movie with, good acting and good special effects.
Yeah. I think, I mean, my general feeling about Christopher Nolan, because I have seen a lot of his films. I think it is fair to say that he's great at that, big, he's going to deliver that, right?
Yeah.
Like I would have been surprised if you were like, he's going to deliver the cinematic,
right.
IMAX, like it's going to visually look beautiful. You're going to get you're going to get all of that. You're going to get, the.
So yeah, from a film perspective, I'm not a film person, so I wasn't going in, I wasn't going to pay the money to go and see it in the IMAX.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going in like, I'm going to, study the cinematography. I was more interested in how he told the story. And, it was how he clearly, without spoiling it.
Yeah.
I think he's done interviews about how he was focused on this idea of like a war veteran and PTSD and,
you're not spoiling it for anyone.
Yeah. So my biggest kind of criticism of that was by kind of hammering that point home. And I think I used the word like hero washed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he took away a lot of the poem's, a lot of things that happened in the poem to make him seem like a good guy. He's
Yeah.
Matt Damon, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the good guy. So I think for me, by doing that, he kind of stripped some of the complexities out of the character, and then just, including a lot of the, again, including some of the female characters, and
Yeah.
including some of the misogyny of, later on in the poem, which, doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
he ends up being a really good guy.
I was going to say that it's like that is, a pretty common um theme, I would say, is that,
Yeah.
again and again with most of his films is like the women are it's the typical sort of like they're there to make
That's pretty.
the male protagonist, like
Yeah.
they're there to just further that story along,
Yeah.
to be dressing, and they don't really have a lot to say or do. They aren't given much to say or do.
Yeah. And I feel like, in this poem, I mean, you're gifted with these
Are you? Yeah.
incredible characters that you could have done so
Yeah.
much with.
Yeah. It's a shame, I think, for me, like as I was reading, and I was trying at first, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna read anything. I just want to go and see it
Yeah.
myself and, whatever. But it's impossible because it's everywhere. And I just couldn't the way the week went. I was like, all right, I'm just I'm not gonna be able to. I was hoping to get there last night. And I just didn't.
Yeah.
You know how I am. I was writing the essay and I wasn't satisfied. So I was like, okay, if I can get the essay done, and publish it early, then I can go see the film. And I was just like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Like I realized I don't even know what time last night. I was like, okay, so that's not happening. But I read a couple of reviews and of people that I trusted,
Yeah.
and I kind of got the vibe. I was like, oh, he did it again. But I knew, but it's just,
Yeah.
I think at this moment in time, it felt disappointing to me. Not that I expect everyone to be taking up the cause, but I just feel like it's such a shame,
Yeah.
that anyone who has an opportunity to be making a statement, um,
Yeah.
isn't.
And I think with him too, I mean, there's been plenty of criticism of his
Yeah.
female characters in the past.
Yeah. Right.
And is like, get a
Do you
woman
not
on board
care?
to help you write these I mean, it's like take these critiques on board, but again, there just seems to be this, this male genius. We love a male genius, right?
I just had this conversation with someone, literally like yesterday about that
Yeah. Yeah.
because I I, again, having not seen it, right, but hearing this same feedback from a number of people that I do trust, um, and also having seen so many of his films, that's exactly what I said. It's like,
Yeah.
it's so interesting because I feel like, I think that there are people who get to a certain place in their field, certain level of success, and some of them are going to want to have people around them who are going to tell them the truth. The higher up they get and the more accolades and
Yeah.
you know, the more important it's going to be to them that there are at least like two people on the team
Yeah.
or in their lives that are going to tell them the real truth. And then there are people that are like, they're going to surround themselves with
Yeah.
ass kissers who are going to tell them they're a genius all day long. And, in the entertainment industry, if you if you don't go out of your way to make sure you have people on the
Yeah.
team or in your life, you are gonna find people who are gonna tell you you are amazing because you're making them so much money.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, and we've all had these jobs, right? Where you're working for someone, whether it's someone who's super famous, and obviously not everyone's had that experience, but just like we've had those experiences where you're working for somebody who has a lot of power and you get the vibe right away, or the people tell you get like, oh, be careful, like don't
right, tread carefully and
have a bad day or whatever. You get the vibe right away of like, this person likes to be told the truth. This person does not want to be told the truth. And it just seems pretty clear to me that, he's smart. There's no way you can reach that level. He must have heard this feedback.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like there seems to be, or maybe I'm being too critical, and he is trying to learn, and But did you also see the thing about him not having a cell phone or email?
Yeah,
did you? And it just kind of tracks, right? It's like, so again, it's like that is a level of privilege that you can concentrate on your art solely and let everybody else, which is probably his wife, do your scheduling and do the mundane stuff
for regular people.
It tracks. So
yeah.
So and my biggest thing, and this is what I'll probably end up writing about for like the next 6 months, is just that it's like, how many times do we need to see a story about war?
Right. No,
I know. I mean,
I know.
It's like there was.
I did see Disclosure Day.
That was. We saw that too.
I will say the one thing that really stood out to me that also I was just like, really? And I don't want to like spoiler alert everything, but so maybe I should just say spoiler alert, maybe just turn this down for 1 second. If you haven't seen it and you're waiting to see it, just like turn it down for a second because I'm going to say something. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Are you serious that these aliens come down and the people that they decide they're interested in are 2 white kids from America?
Yeah, the heartland.
That's it, Dina. They come down and they pick a white boy and a white girl from America. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, I know. There were so many, even my
seriously,
so many plot holes.
Like, I mean, aside from that, but I was just like, that's what I'm saying. It's like right now in this moment in time, no one said to you, "Hey, I just have a thought." Like,
again, it's Steven Spielberg. I mean, I think when these and there, I mean, let's face it, I don't think there are any yet female directors. I mean, maybe Chloe Zhao, I don't know, or what's her name?
Greta Gerwig.
Yeah, maybe who have that.
Nobody's.
Yeah, that kind of Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, kind of level of nobody's telling them what to do.
No.
And nobody's saying this is a bad idea. They're coming into that room and they're like, this is what we're doing. And everyone's like, yay.
I think, listen, but I think it's like every field is like that, whether it's writers or whatever it is, when you get to a certain level, people start to be worried about saying anything. So, you're like a writer and you get a book deal. You're with a publisher, you're assigned an in-house editor at this publishing house, and the editor's been reading your work for the last 30 years and is in awe and doesn't want to like touch anything that you've done because it's like, oh my, I've been reading your stuff for. It's like, that's probably not great, like you probably want someone who isn't afraid to like really look at your, tell you like edit the way they would, like.
And it's hard. And I think, we were talking about this a little bit before, and you've been writing about how difficult it is when people do need to be told, something that might be difficult, or when people change in a way that you're not expecting. And, there's that kind of that difficulty there. So yeah, it's, especially when you've known somebody or known their work.
Yeah, I just had the essay this week that I just literally just published, like whatever, a few hours ago was about a friend of mine, someone I knew for 20 plus years, who's, was a close friend of mine. Not as close in the last, I would say, like maybe 5 years, just life. And, he got married and just, like, just kind of like haven't spent as much time, but still, it's like we would see each other once in a while for like a coffee or whatever. And
Excuse me.
yeah, no, of course. We're just rolling with everything today. The dogs,
Just
whatever.
sneezing and yeah.
Yes, all of it. But yeah, what happened, but there was a time, it was like one of those, there was a season where, I mean, I spent a lot of time with this person, and I would have said I knew him really, really well. We were very, very close. And about maybe, I don't know, maybe like I feel like time has gotten so strange for me. I don't know if you feel this too.
It's like no meaning.
Yeah. Where I'm like, did I have coffee with him like 8 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago? I really don't know. But I think I started noticing, I want to say maybe like 10 months ago or something, online, that he was posting some strange stuff, and little like, I'll go ahead and just say, like, he posted a couple of like Charlie Kirk clips.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's strange, because this is a very liberal minded person, always very, very, just kind hearted, ultra liberal, kind of guy. And so that seemed really strange to me, that he was posting that, and so I thought, oh, he's probably not seen, he's probably just seen these clips.
Right.
He's doesn't really know, like the fuller context there or something. And we had mutual friends, and there were people underneath these clips, because, he's posting them on social media, and you know how social media is, who were mutual friends, who were like, what is that? What are you doing? Like,
were you hacked?
Really setting. Yeah. And he was being really not, I was very surprised at the way he was responding. It was extremely dismissive, in this kind of like smug way of, you know, um, you know, he has some good things to say, and like shutting people down, like not really taking in what people were saying, people who were really upset, like deeply.
Wait, was it Christopher Nolan?
Yeah, exactly. Just really not hearing, like, hey, this is really painful for me.
Yeah.
And he's a yoga teacher. So there were some people that were saying, like, I practiced with you for a long time, and this really hurts. Like, I'm Black, and like, this is a person who says some like horrible things. It's painful for me to see you post this, like, I don't like that, those kinds of comments, and him saying things that were not very like sensitive, or like, I'm hearing you, I understand, there wasn't that going on. So I was like, wow, what is happening here, and a few people actually sent me messages like, what's going on? And I was like, I do not know. I saw that too. You know how it is, where somebody's doing something and then like your mutual or like what's, and I, so I said, yeah, I saw that too. I don't know what is going on. I haven't really seen him. You know what? I'm actually going to text and see if I can like have a coffee or something and try to figure out what is happening. Because I saw that too. That was very strange. So that's what I did. And, and in those messages, there was no sort of like, the messages were very like, is he okay? It wasn't like a mean.
Yeah, because I think
spirited.
sometimes when there's that like a real almost personality shift, like your brain
it was
just
more
did something traumatic
concerned.
happen? Was there a divorce? Did something trigger some sort of
or just what's going on? Like is he? Like what's happening? So I went to meet him for coffee, thinking like something must be going on, or he must have just posted this and not really been paying attention to what people were saying or something. And I fully expected that when we sat down and had coffee, I would be able to say to him like, hey, first of all, what's happening with you? Are you all right? And then also be able to say to him, I want to just shine a light on this because there are some people I think who are really hurt, and don't feel like you really heard them. And you might want to like look at that and go back to those posts and just kind of have a second look and maybe look at the way you were responding. Cause I think a lot of people were feeling a little, yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. And so, but that's not what happened. I sat down, and basically very quickly, I said to him, so, after we did this sort of like, how are you? I'm sitting there thinking he's going to say something, I'm not doing too well or whatever. And it was not that. And then pretty quickly, I said to him, well, look, obviously, you know that I saw some of the things you were posting, and I've heard from some people who were like worried about you. And I was kind of concerned, and I'm assuming you haven't seen the full podcast episodes, or you're not, and he's like, oh no, I have.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have? And he said, I have. And, and I said, okay. I said, I'm going to ask you something. I was like, are you, are you like, do you like are you kind of with the president? Like, are you liking this whole, and he was like, I am.
Yeah.
So, it's just about blew my hair off, just like, wow. Okay. And he was like, look, I know that this is probably really, weird or strange. I've been a liberal my whole life. But I just, I like him. I think he is, he tells it like it is. I think he's funny. He's not a politician. I just, he's like, I find it, refreshing, and, that whole thing. And
so nothing about like the fact that he can't string a sentence together, or that, his policies are, so nothing about that, just more the vibe.
The vibe. Likes the vibe, likes the, like doesn't care, isn't polished, all of that. And I was so of course, me being me, I was like, so, but like, do you realize, like there's a whole bunch of things that have happened here that are really, policy things and violations of the Constitution. And right from like the moment Elon Musk went into the Treasury to like
like bad things.
The gutting of like the voting rights.
Objectively bad things.
And the way we have like ICE agents who are not, they're masked, and there's no due process at all. And people are just being, chased down by unmarked cars. And he's just doing a lot of like the talking points, like, well, Obama, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, not in this way. People were not being denied due process. And so, and the family separations were shut down. And like, you can't do that with me because I have the facts and figures in my brain. So, we went through all of that. And then I was saying to him, Roe was overturned. And now Devin and I, when we drive across the country, like our rights to life-saving healthcare change every time we cross state lines. Like, there are 10-year-old girls who, if they get raped, they've got to go somewhere. Like, I was like, oh, there's a lot of things here that are deeply distressing. And I just don't, I don't understand how you're okay with that. The way people are being treated in these detention centers, just all of it. I don't know how you can know that and teach yoga and support. Like, I just don't understand. And it was just anytime I got factual, it was like oil and water, just like slide off. And he started talking about, like DEI infantilizes Black people. I was like, okay, I don't think you understand that DEI policies benefit white women. That's the demographic that benefits the most.
Yeah.
Also,
except in college admissions, where it benefits white males the most.
Yes. I was like, I don't think you're really grasping this. And I was like, I mean, I went through so many different things along the way, and he, by the way, like, was not born here, has dual citizenship, can leave anytime he wants. Like, it just was so upsetting. And is just a straight white man who has nothing to fear, like nothing to fear. And I said that. I was like, it's just really hard for me to listen to this, and you have no skin in the game here, literally. And he said to me, how is this really affecting your life? You should just focus on your life and not get so caught up in and the politics and all. Like, just don't worry about it. Like, just focus on you and your life.
Don't get hysterical, Allie.
Yeah, exactly. And I said to him, I was like, I have, first of all, I'm not wired like that. Okay. So aside from whatever, I'm not wired that way. I have friends who didn't go to their kids' high school graduation because they were worried about ICE. So I care about that. And B, all those things I said to you are incredibly personal. The fact
and
that
also, sort of, don't you feel that as a woman? That, like, knowing that your country views you as a fully fledged human being, deserving of all the rights, conferred upon somebody who is a man. I mean, like, you can't ask a woman to just give up her, her right to autonomy because of vibes, or because, they're getting rid of the brown people, or
miss the part where I said to you, like, if I took a road trip with my kids, my son's rights to life-saving healthcare, they're fine. And me and my daughter, no. Like, how do you not get how personal that is? The SAVE Act, like, they're trying, like, I don't understand what you're missing. And I said to him, if you just wanted to talk about how it's affecting me personally, I was like, they didn't extend the ACA subsidies. My health insurance, like, the plan that I was on that was really great health insurance was $346 a month. And that plan shot up to $1,706 a month, which obviously I could not stay on. So now I have like crappy health insurance that's basically just like bankruptcy insurance, so that if I end up in the hospital, it won't bankrupt me.
Right.
And I'm at the age where like I should have good health insurance. I work my ass off. And
so I mean, do you think it was just a I'm like, what happened? I mean, is he consuming like right-wing echo chamber media, or did
I
something
think
personally happen? Did he,
nothing
sometimes you
personal.
hear these stories or where it's like, well, so and so lost out to a Black person.
Right. No.
And it's this like, I don't know, just some sort of bizarre trigger in their head. But yeah, to go from being kind of a liberal yoga teacher,
I think that part of it is he's always been extremely my body is my temple person. So I
is he a
think
Maha?
yes, I think there was some of the like, anti-vax, RFK Jr.,
Right.
exit
Okay. So
way,
we see the way in now.
which a lot of yoga teachers in Los Angeles, that happened during COVID. These people that I was like, oh, I'm watching this person start recommending ivermectin, like, and holding my head in my hands. Like, I can't believe I'm watching this. So there was a lot of that happened, but he wasn't one of them during COVID.
Okay.
So I thought like, we're fine. I didn't see that. At least he wasn't posting about it. Doesn't mean it wasn't happening, but he wasn't talking about it. So maybe that is part of what happened then, and he just kept it quiet. I don't know. It might be that that's the case, but there was nothing outward to suggest anything like that. And,
so where do you go from here?
Well, basically at the end of the conversation, I tried really hard. I tried the way you would try the way I hope somebody would try. If I was losing my, bearings, I would hope someone who loved me and cared about me for 20 years would try really hard. Like I did try. I was quiet. I'm not a yeller. I don't, I tried with facts and I tried with my
compassion,
heart.
it sounds like, and not just
genuinely,
yelling over,
no. Not at all. I just tried as hard as I could as someone who, like really spent a lot of time with this person and cared. And I think what happened finally where I was like, okay, that's it. He started talking about George Floyd and fentanyl and not the 9 minutes and 29 seconds that Derek Chauvin had his knee on George. And at that point I thought, okay, that's where first of all, I can't listen to this anymore because I'm going to get really upset. Like, now I'm going to start crying because I can't listen to that. And, like I think that is when he really broke my heart. I just was like, can't believe this. And I think I did start crying at that point. Like, I think I looked at him and I was just like, I have to stop you now because I really can't listen to you say that. It's just so awful for me to watch these words come out of your mouth, and I can't believe you're saying that. Like,
and I guess it's something that doesn't, it's something that doesn't get talked about, is that the grief of losing
a friend
of somebody that you care about. I mean, I've been very lucky. I also have the buffer of living outside of the US at the moment. But I haven't had anybody, super close to me personally.
It made me physically sick. That moment, I remember just like sitting there and I felt like bile. Like I literally felt like I couldn't look at it. I had to stop him. I was like, I have to stop you because I can't listen to that. And he did stop, I think he realized maybe, okay, like I should stop saying that, I was like, you should really never say that out loud ever to anyone.
Yeah, and really you shouldn't even think it. But yes, you definitely should not say it out loud.
That is a horrible. I was like, I will never forget those. I watched that, and that'll be in my soul for the rest of my life.
I mean, and I think it's how do you reconcile somebody that you know and love now thinking that they believe this? Because those two things are so like diametrically opposed.
For me, because of that, I think that was like it for me. I was like, okay, I've done everything that I can do. I've said everything I can say. And if this is where he's at, that he can say those words, I'm done, and he's gone. Like, he's gone, and I'm now done. I fought as valiantly as I could, and I'm done.
Yeah, and and I think that you also have to protect your own.
Yeah, just
morals.
I did everything I could, like,
and
yeah,
ethics,
I did,
and compassion.
I see sometimes too, like, I see both, I really I have seen a lot of, like, Black activists and women say, like, white women, like, "Get it together, like, get your people in line," and I'm like, "Yeah." I'm with you on that, and this was, like, one of those moments where it's like, I'm trying. Like, I'm trying really hard here, like, I am trying to fight for this person to get it together, and at that moment, I was like, "You know what? He is gone," and there's nothing I can do here. Like, there's nothing I can do. I am, I have given it everything that I have, and I have said everything. But here's what happened. So when I said goodbye to him, I was saying goodbye to him.
Yeah.
He didn't get it because I think I am quiet when that kind of thing happens. I'm not loud. I'm not yelling. I'm not cursing. I just said goodbye. I gave him a hug. I said goodbye. And I was really heartbroken, and I got in my car. I got in my car and I had a good cry. I was just like, wow, that was really not what I thought was going to happen. And, I went home, and one of our, mutual friends hoping I was going to like get through to him. So he instantly was like, me, and I was like, nope, like, he's gone. He's gone. He's not, I don't think he's coming back. I think he's gone.
And I think you hear this too a lot from people who have experienced that, where the other person thinks you're being cruel. Because they think you're making it about something. It's not, for them, it's just I don't know, just politics, or it's not morality or ethics.
It doesn't have to be this way.
Yeah. Right. So it's so compartmentalized, I think. And so, when he said goodbye to you, he's like, I imagine he might have been thinking, well, why wouldn't she see me again? This is just
I think
it's a little
really
disagreement over, who I voted for.
Yeah, I think he.
And meanwhile, you're like your whole worldview.
Yeah, I was really. I got in the car. I was having like a nervous system response. I was sweating. I was crying. And I got home, and this friend of ours was like waiting, and I was like, yeah, it's bad. Yeah. Like, I did everything possible, and he's gone. And basically I did notice, I think I sent him a couple of, he sent me some kind of a text, like maybe a few days later, like I was really happy, like, that we met, and thank you for, not yelling or whatever, like, so many liberals, you can't even talk to them. And I was like, that's really strange, because I don't, and he had said to me somewhere in that conversation too about the political violence on the left. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm Melissa like, please, and I sent him a couple of things, like, some like videos and stuff, on Instagram. I sent him a couple of things. And then I noticed that he, on Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, posted the I Have a Dream speech. And I wrote underneath, like, I sent him a private message and I was like, see, this is incredibly hypocritical. I was like, first of all, this is such a white person thing to do.
Yeah.
And secondly, this is so hypocritical of you. I'm like, you are anti-DEI, but you're going to post this speech. Like, that's just, and I was like, I'm going to unfollow. And I did. I unfollowed at that point. But he texted me, like, hey, how are you? He texted me on my birthday. I didn't text back. And what has happened is he has texted me a few times and I haven't texted back. And I've never done that before. I've never ghosted anyone in my life ever.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it. I don't like it. I think it's really like not nice. Like, I'm a big communicator. I'd rather tell someone how I feel.
Right.
Than just ignore. I just don't think it's nice. But in this case, I've said everything.
Yeah.
I've said how I feel. And what's happening now is he sent me a text a few weeks ago, very impromptu, like, hey, we're going to have like a little get together in the backyard, very last minute. Love for you to come. I haven't seen you. He's like, we've been through so much together and, I love you and, I'm still me. And like, why don't you come? It would be so good to see you. Bring the kids. I did not respond.
Yeah.
And I really felt like he's lost a lot of students. He's lost a lot of students. He's lost a lot of people. And I felt like he wants me to come and he wants to take a picture.
Yeah.
He wants a picture in the backyard.
He wants you to hero wash him.
He wants to post. Yes. He wants
Nolan.
He wants to come home from the war.
Yeah, right? And he wants to just make it all go away. Look, Allie still loves me.
Yeah, she still loves me. She's
how bad
okay
could
with
I be?
me. And I was just like, and I'm sure it wasn't just that, but I really got that vibe of like, he really wants me to come to and I did not respond. And then he sent me another text the other day and it was very like this guilting, like, I'm still me. These times have bred so much division. You've put me in the enemy camp. You're not like this. You're an Aquarian. You're open-minded. It's your idea of me that's the problem right now. It's not me. And I'm like, I haven't said anything. I still haven't responded. But this is very like condescending. You need to remember how you used to feel about me. I need to. You said what I need to do. You need to remember how you used to feel about me, and it's your anger right now that's getting in the way. And you've decided I'm the, and it's like, first of all, I know that when, somebody is in a vacuum, right? Like they're not doing anything, people make up stories. So I understand. He's making up a story right now. But, it's very condescending. It's like,
and also kind of borderline abusive.
Yes.
There's I mean, I wouldn't say it is, there's a whiff.
There's
a whiff of, if only you acted the way that I want you to act. Yeah.
Like,
then we could be friends.
Right. You need to do what I'm telling you to do.
Yes.
And, you're not being a good girl. There's this vibe of like, you need to remember your teacher, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you have not been my teacher for 25 years. Okay. And at this point in time, you are certainly not my teacher. Okay. So please get over yourself. And,
so I guess then you end with like, do you, because you have three options, right? So one is to continue doing nothing.
Right.
One is to send a final, I thank you for the time that we knew each other 20 years ago. You taught me a lot. I'm, moving forward, whatever. And then, and then block him.
Yes. Yes.
Or you could just block.
I think that I am going to send a final thing that is basically, like, look, it's not his texts are kind of like these lofty, complicated, it's not me, it's your idea of me. He's like, no, it's you.
Yeah.
It's you.
Like,
It's
you
not
need
my
to know
idea
it's
of
you.
It is actually you.
Yeah.
And you're making it more complicated than it needs to be. And the reality is, like, you've made choices, you're supporting this, and that's okay. You can do that if that's what you want to do. And I'm making choices. And my choice is I don't want to be friends with someone who's supporting this. And the fact that you don't understand that this is having a serious impact on me personally, and also on so many people I care about, and that has an impact on me. And the fact that you are, living your life in this way that, like, I'm just going to focus on me.
Yeah.
Is repugnant to me. Like, there's so many parts of this. You're making choices that that don't align and are not, you're no longer the kind of person that I want as a friend. So
and I think,
I'm making choices, and it's really simple. It's not lofty. It's not complicated. I'm very sad about it. It did break my heart when we met, but it's okay. And,
and I think that, part of just, going back a couple of steps where you said about, Black activists saying white people, white women especially, get your
people in line.
Get your people in formation. You tried.
Yes.
He's kind of maybe beyond help. But then, the next best thing I think that you can do with that is to just say, you
don't get to have him in your life anymore.
Exactly. You're not going to excuse his behavior or excuse
and I'm not going to go to your freaking barbecue. I'm not going to your backyard,
and legitimize his
No, I'm not. At least I can do that, like, I can say that, and it seems to matter, like, because you keep texting, so at least I can say no to that. And so, that's kind of the best I can do. So,
Allie Hamilton once again coming in with the kind and compassionate.
Hey, you know what?
Ending that we all need.
Girl, I don't know. It's like,
because I'm like,
it's like, it's so just, exhausting. And meanwhile, like, all this, also, like, which we can talk about another time, but, while this is happening, I've got this guy texting me, trying to guilt me, which is, I don't receive your missive here of, like, guilt. This, whatever it is you're trying to do here, like, return to sender. Okay. This is all you. Like, this is your doing here. It's like Caitlin Collins, right? I don't know if you saw the, like, White House Correspondents' Dinner redux that would be, like, rescheduled.
I've just been enjoying my crazy summer.
I'm glad to hear it. I will just tell you, because it's like one of the things, I know we have to go, but one of the things that one of the things that, like, blew my mind last week was that they had the, like, they had to reschedule it, and Caitlin Collins, like, won an award, and so did the Wall Street Journal for their coverage of the president and Epstein. And Caitlin Collins won for her coverage. She's the White House.
She's
amazing. And so they're winning awards, and he's there. And Wolf Blitzer gets up, and he's announcing these awards. You gotta watch it. It's actually linked in the essay.
Okay.
And he's announcing these awards, and first of all, he doxed one of the journalists.
Yes.
Who's winning the award from the Wall Street Journal. She and her family had to relocate because he released her address.
Yeah.
And he's laughing and shrugging. He's like,
it's like, all, it's the same thing. It's all a game. It's all, why are we taking this so seriously?
Right. Why? And then I'm like, why are you journalists, like, even? And then he gets up and and Caitlin Collins is like, she wins this award, and he's berating her, like, he's insulting her. He's like, you should smile more, all this crap. And that's partly what happened this week. Like the essay that I wrote was just a little, the essay I wrote was almost like my response to the text.
Yeah.
It was pretty much like, here are the million reasons why we're not going to be friends anymore. And like, it's pretty much that, it's just like, because of all of this, like, this is why, because people are dying.
Yeah. And also, but that's what he likes.
Yeah.
Like he is aligning with and enjoying a man who gets up and demeans a woman. Yeah.
Reprehensible.
Yeah.
And
it's, why,
And I saw your note. So funny because actually, I was writing about family annihilators.
I just learned that term. I mean, I obviously know of the instances, but I had never heard that term before.
No, I same as this week is like where I started seeing that. And how it is. It's like there's that tipping point moment where something comes into the mainstream.
Yeah.
So it's funny that we both were seeing that this week. And there's
we should park that.
We'll do a part 2.
I was going to say, I think that is worthy of a whole.
It is
conversation in and of itself.
It is. Yes.
So that sounds like that. I think is a good place to wrap up.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm looking forward to reading your essay.
Okay. Excellent. Well, I am so happy that we got to do
I know. I'm happy that things are settling back down into
Yeah, me too. It feels like as much as I love the summer, I'm kind of like ready for maybe just the schedule to be a little more.
It's not like you get vacation.
No.
Like
I don't get a vacation.
Doing all the same stuff. It's just hotter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hot.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. And for you, especially. So, it'll be nice when it's not so hot.
Exactly. All right. Well, I am looking forward to talking to you again.
Me too.
All right. I have no idea if when I leave this, I say goodbye. Bye.
We're going to say goodbye. Yeah, we're fine.
All right.
All right. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.